Hello, once again, this is Captain Frugal. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my Atari collection. Hello Frugal fans, once again Captain Frugal here, and this is another video in my series of showing you what I have in my game stash. Before we get started, remember, I'm not exactly a game collector. I am a player that happens just to keep my games. So, sometimes I get them for garage sales and things like that. I just don't tend to get rid of them because I like to keep them, play them later, or share them with others in my family and friends. So, last episode, we looked at my small Genesis collection set. I enjoy it. Today we're going to look at my Atari collection. I have the Atari 2600 I had actually. I got rid of it. That's one of them I look back and kick myself for. But I have the 7800 which I play them on. Alright, so looking back at those, once again remember I said collection, it is not because I'm looking for pristine. It's because I actually play them. So the first one I have here was no label. I was hoping it was my Spider-Man game because my Spider-Man one disappeared because I actually really enjoy that. Unfortunately, it's E.T. Yeah. E.T. The next game in my collection is missing the label in the front too, but it is Night Driver for the 2600. It's, for today's standard, it's well below, but at the time it was an okay game. It's still, even then, I didn't think it was that great. Alright, the next one is one that pretty much everybody has to have for the 2600 collection, right? That's Space Invaders. Classic game. Wonderful. Also, you'll notice sometimes there's initials on these because sometimes I guess kids had their initials put on their games and things like that. So, they have those things. Now this next one I actually played a lot. I really enjoyed this one as a kid and played it very much. And it was skateboarding. I'm sure by today's standards it pales into them, but it was a very fun game to me. Really enjoyed it. Played it a lot. The next one I also played a lot by today's standards. Once again, doesn't really hold up, but it is Pole Position. Also a good one for maybe as a kid to play with limited skill set, because they're younger and things like that. That's another reason I like to keep these, is some of these games like this, with a higher level of complexity, are great for beginning gamers. Next one I absolutely love, and a lot of people maybe don't realize it, this was actually in the Atari 2600 as well, and that is Rampage. Nothing like selecting a giant creature and tearing up the city and eating people. Love it. Put a lot of time on that one. The next one, it was, for the early days of adventure games, Venture. I always did like Venture. See there, some kid had their initials on it, but I got it for cheap, so what can I complain about? Venture. That was a fun game to me. I think, if I recall, you were like a smiley face. So, go figure. This next one is a must-have, of course, for Atari 2600 people, and that is Missile Command. Yeah, Missile Command. One of the classics. Now this next one I really loved, and a lot of people might not realize it because they played it on the NES. And I wasn't an early adopter of the NES. I didn't have the money for it. So Kung Fu Master. I will say for the 2600, Kung Fu Master graphically really holds up well, and it was a very fun game. I really enjoyed playing it. This next one was an okay game. Shooter type Atlantis. Nothing super spectacular. As you see, I bought a lot of these from the same garage sale, if you noticed. This next one is Commando, believe it or not. It was also on the Atari 2600. It's an okay game. It was pretty good. Now this next one is a must-have for any Atari owner, and that is Jungle Hunt. Absolutely love Jungle Hunt. Played this game a lot. Tremendous, great game. Lots of fun. Now this next one I didn't care for too much. It's probably because I didn't understand it a whole lot, and that's Riddle of the Sphinx. Can't say a whole lot of good about it. This next one is, in case you like sports games, volleyball. For its time is okay. And this next one I put a lot of time in. Title match, pro wrestling. Quite well enjoyed this one. This was, before we had all the special fancy graphic wrestling games. This was actually really quite good for its time. And this next one, of course, is another one everybody must own, and that is Pitfall. Great game. Pitfall was absolutely fun. Spent a lot of time on it. Recommend that one. Another great game in my collection here hard to hold on to all of these, is Berserk. Berserk was another great game. Don't touch the walls or you get fried. Run around and shoot things. Now granted, it wasn't the best port of the game, but it was still very playable, and I enjoyed it a lot. Okay. Next one is Donkey Kong Jr. Yeah, Donkey Kong Jr. was great on this. A lot of fun. Believe it or not, I don't have the first Donkey Kong, which I'd like to get, but I haven't found it yet for cheap again. I had a lot more games than I had here, but a lot disappeared. I don't know how that happened, but it probably happened while moving or something like that. Alright, this next one is universally hit with bad things, and that's Ghostbusters. Yes, it's a lot like the NES one and things too. Drive the car, suck them up. Believe it or not, though, I actually liked it a little bit more than the NES version. Alright, the next one, I really enjoyed this one. This is a shoot 'em up Defender. You fly back and forth and shoot things up. Plain and simple, a lot of fun. Good one for shooting fans, especially early shooting fans. Good one to learn on. This next one, Big Bird's Egg Catch. Yes, Big Bird's Egg Catch. This takes a special controller to use to play. I do have it. Maybe I'll show that in another video if I make a video on controllers. Okay. This next one, absolutely fun game. Great game. Little Frugal and I played it not too long ago. Millipede. If you like things like shooters like Centipede, Millipede amps it up even more. Great game. Alright, moving on. Oh, great one. Popeye. You must have Popeye, right? I didn't have the Nintendo, so I didn't have the Nintendo version, but I played this one like crazy and absolutely loved it. Next one is for the pinball players, Midnight Magic. Nothing super fancy, but Midnight Magic 2600, it was an okay play. Alright, this next one, Kung Fu Super Kicks. I believe it was also Chuck Norris's Kung Fu Super Kicks, if he had a different license version. This was by Telegames. I actually really enjoyed this one. Spent a lot of time on this game. Alright, now this one's great if you get a couple people together and you have the paddles. Warlords. Yeah, you try to blow out each other's little base and get through there. Definitely great game to put in there if you have a group of 4 people. A lot of people maybe overlook that. Absolutely couch co-op friendly, fun game. Alright, now this one's a classic. Okay, a lot of people know this one well. Breakout. Okay, break through the wall with the ball. Pretty simplistic. This next one, G.I. Joe, Cobra Strike. If I recall, it was a paddle game actually. You go back and forth. It wasn't that great if I recall. Some of these I haven't played in a long time. And here we go, Space Invaders. Everyone's got to love Space Invaders. That's a must-have. Absolutely great game. Here's another one too for couch co-op. It gets a lot of heat. It doesn't have the best controls and things, but it's combat. Take a tank, take a plane. You plane first plane, tank first tank, and shoot each other. Just great for a little bit of family fun. Next one was BMX Airmaster. Okay, it was an okay game. It was a bike game. I actually played it quite a bit. Alright, some cartridges had a funky kind of style. This is Astro Blast. Okay, Astro Blast. Unfortunately, they don't stack very well. It was a shooter. This next one, another shooter, Space Attack. Wasn't anything super fancy. But now this next one usually gets people to laugh. Are you ready for this one? Kool-Aid Man. Yes, I have Kool-Aid Man. He breaks through the wall at the beginning, Yeah, not a great game actually. Not very good. But I think I got it for free. Alright, this next one. Tennis. For the sports game people. It was okay. Actually, it was a pretty good tennis game if I recall. Next one, Star Voyager. As you like playing Star Trek. Graphically, it doesn't hold up very well, but for its time, it was an okay game. Alright, this next one I liked a lot. Galaxian. I really liked Galaxian. For an Atari person to have this, probably a good game to have. Okay, yeah, definitely want that one. This is one of my very first games I ever had for Atari 2600. Grand Prix. Drive your car, side-scrolling. It wasn't anything revolutionary, but I really loved it, and I played it a lot. Alright, next. This one beat up a little bit, but I played this one a lot too. Ice hockey. Loved it. Look at that poor thing. You could actually hit the other players with your hockey stick. So it was great. For this time, loved it. Alright, moving on. I had Moonsweeper. Okay, that was a shoot 'em. It was an okay game. Now this one, I think was later in its generation, nearing the end of the Atari period, and it was Dark Chambers. Love that game. It has an eerie look to it. Dark Chambers. Good one to check out. I'm going to go back and play that one again. This next one, Star Raiders. There's a lot of fly and shoot 'em ups kind of stuff on Atari. Even a lot of first person shoot 'em ups. Another one of those. Nothing super fancy. Now this next one I played a lot too. I really enjoyed this one. Kangaroo. Yeah, so Kangaroo. Bounce around and punch things. It was a pretty good game. Okay, now this one for the California Games, for more of the sports kind of stuff. Play hacky sack, things like that. It was an okay game. Alright, now I went through my 2600 collection. I also had some 7800 games as well, so let's see what I had for that. I have Fight Night, a boxing game. I really like this one. You know, side by side, and you punch it out. I think it used the capabilities of the 7800 well. One bad thing about the 7800, unfortunately, is they never really upgraded the sound chip from the 2600 to the 7800, so it was limited by that. Alright, I actually have 2 of those. Maybe I'll do a giveaway. Contact me in the comments. What do you think about Fight Night? Next one, a shooter. Crossbow. You could use your light gun and shoot things. It was pretty fun. I believe you had to save them, keep them safe as you would have crossed. Now this next one. Graphically, you know, it is what it is. 7800 Double Dragon. Okay, I used to also have this on the 2600, but I sold that when I sold my old Atari to get the 7800, and I got the 7800 version of it. Yes, it doesn't graphically compare to Nintendo stuff, but I will say it holds more true to the arcade than a Nintendo version. Played that one a lot, and the controls were absolutely terrible if you got the standard control for the Atari 7800 with the paddle. Not a good controller. There's a pad, and I really want that pad. If anybody has that Atari 7800 pad or can see it and stuff, please contact me in the comments. I'd love to get a hold of one of those. Okay, so help me out there if you don't mind. Next one, 7800 Joust. Great fun game. Just a little fly around on the bird and hit each other and try to we gotta be higher than them to take them out. Next one, Xenophobe. Lord Carnage, I think, recently did a video with Xenophobe for the 2600. It's even better on the 7800, and graphically it looks pretty darn good. Great game. Go on each spaceship, clear out enough of the percentage, get off, and move to the next one. Alright, this one gets a lot of heat. It's Karateka or Karateka, I'm not sure how exactly it's pronounced. You know, it's very slow. You move on your controller, and it takes a lot of delay before it actually does it on the game. But it makes you actually think about your moves. You have to do more planning. Whatever you do, don't accidentally run to the guy on accident and get killed, because then one hit and you're out, and that's happened to me many times on accident. And yes, it enrages me every time. Now, as I said before, pole position was pretty good. There's pole position 2 for this system. It's even better. I really actually played this one a lot. I enjoyed pole position 2 a lot. And lastly, in my Atari game collection, well, almost, I got one other thing there too, is yes, 1-on-1, and this has Julius, Dr. J, Julius Irving, and Larry Bird. I loved this one. I'm not a basketball fan. I really enjoyed playing this game. I played it a lot. It was a lot of fun. Alright, so maybe, just maybe, you want to get some of these 2600 games, but you don't have a lot of money, or you don't want to get all serious in collecting. There's the Flashback series. I have the Flashback 5. I believe currently they're up to 7. And this one has 92 built-in games. I've actually reviewed it. You can go back to one of my very first videos where I review this. Okay, and I review it on an old monitor too, an old TV screen, so you can see it in all its glory. Okay, so that's another way to get them. Remember, I think they go up to Flashback 7, if I recall now. So you might want to check that out if you want a bunch of old Atari games for a very low price. Now, I do recommend if you get one of those, you have to have a direct line of sight to the system with the controller. Maybe get our 2600 controller. You can buy them aftermarket for pretty cheap too that you can plug into there, and you'll be a lot better that way. Alright, well that was my Atari games. I hope you enjoyed. What Atari games should I get? What am I missing that's a must-have in my Atari collection? Please let me know in the comments. What games do you have on Atari, if you have an Atari, that you found were absolutely fantastic and fun? Let me know in the comments. What Atari games did you hate? Did you have E.T.? Things like that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, please. Share. And don't forget, give me a like, subscribe, hit that bell, help support me. I notice I don't do these if they need commercials and things. I just do them to the love of the community and to share. So until next time, keep it frugal. Hello Frugal fans, once again thank you for watching this video. If you do want to help support me, please check it out at my VidMe channel. That's where I'm slowly progressing and moving from YouTube. And while you're there to help support me, it'd be great if you'd subscribe and or tip. That's how you would help me continue to produce these videos. Also, if you like this content and more, you can check it out at thehenchmanslounge.com. So until next time, keep it frugal.